Welcome to the World of Art with Paul Crimi. I brought back the painting that we did the last show, and I put it in a black frame, and I brought it home, and my wife loved it. She's got great taste anyways, but she loved it because she liked the minimalist of the color in the way this is the way Maine is anyways. It's in the fog, it's really quiet, it's very peaceful and serene. And you know, the art of painting black and white is so gone in this society. It's a shame because it's the foundation of all art. And so tonight I brought another painting, a photograph of mine of a fall scene with the fog, and I'm going to stand up and show you. I'm going to go and hold it up in front of Carol, the great camera woman, and this is what I'm going to do tonight, hopefully. Let me see if I can get it back. There you go. And you get to see the orange on the bottom, and then the fog and the trees. I've painted this before, and somebody came in and bought it a couple of days after I painted it. So I've always wanted to paint it again, so I brought it tonight. So I'm going to put this out of the way. I've got the canvas set up. I use these black canvases because I find them to be fantastic to work with. In the old days, I had to paint the canvas black with black gesso. They're making them black. I think that they heard me say, if you paint on a black canvas, you get a better result. And so I have a lot of artists throughout the years that have decided that I was telling them something especially good because a lot of them are doing it today. So I got my brushes here, my blower, and some of the paints that I brought. So we're going to start. I'm going to pick up a brush. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to start with the background, see if I can make it a little more foggy. We'll just start painting it like this. And don't get excited or don't get too down on what we're doing this. When you paint and you're doing the background and all that, a lot of people get frustrated because they want it to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. I don't care how good you are. I like the way the Japanese and the Oriental people treat painting. They say it's not to have it perfect because only one thing's perfect, and that's God. And I sort of agree with that kind of thinking. So I'm just going to keep on blocking it in. That's the word I'm looking for, blocking it in and getting it ready. And you do all of this background stuff, then take the blower and dry it, and then you can put some of the surface trees in the background. And you know, if you're not a painter and you want to paint, just go out and buy the paints, you know, and paint. You know, you don't have to have anybody teach you. You just do it. Sometimes if you do, I mean, that's why Grandma Moses and all those people, they just started painting. What happens with people is they listen to other people, which you shouldn't do. Because other people judge you on what you are and what you want, and they don't paint, and they don't even try. And I say not to listen to them. At least the people around you the most. They're the ones that are the most critical, and it goes too deep. A lot of people will stop painting because of that. I was blessed as a kid because I was deaf, so I didn't have to listen to all of that nonsense until I was 12. I mean, everybody says, well, why didn't you paint the background before you started the painting, come in and you wouldn't have to put... I want you to see what happens step by step, inch by inch. Slowly I turned. That Niagara Falls, oh my, Three Stooges. I love that. Every time I saw that, I cracked up. We grew up with a generation of funny people. I don't know what's happened to the funny people today. Abbott and Costello and some of the older ones, God, they were so funny. Good night. So I'm just like I said, I'm making this canvas to have a tint, somewhat of a little gray tint, like the fog. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to make the trees a little darker. This is all in stages, which is what I love. I love doing things that have levels, different levels of paint. I mean, I might even put some on the bottom here, because I'm going to paint the bottom orange. Oh, I forgot to bring the orange, I think. Oh, my God. I think I brought everything but the orange, but that's all right. We'll see. I'll have to compensate with something else because I forgot to bring the orange. Nice. I just had a big, huge bug on my arm. This painting might be all black and white until I get it to the studio and put the orange on later, which is all right. Never get upset with yourself. Go with the flow. You know, if you forget something and it doesn't work, find a way to make it work. I never get frustrated. One of the things I learned in the Marine Corps is that you overcome and you do. You can whine and moan and groan about your whole life, about everything. And not to this and that and that. It doesn't pay. Nothing happens. You don't get anything done in your life. That's the one thing I should have put in there first, was the orange. I don't know why. I didn't want to bring the big box with me tonight, so I decided to do it with the milk carton. Maybe I meant to do this whole thing in black and white tonight, so that may be the reason. But who knows? God knows. So I got the black covered. Step one. I'll bring this canvas back. I'll put the orange leaves on, and I'll bring it back next time. But I won't paint the orange leaves. I'll bring the canvas back, and I'll paint it on the canvas, and I'll show you. So this will be step one show, and then step two the next time I come, and I'll put the orange leaves on and show you how you do it. But we're going to do dark black leaves tonight because I didn't bring the orange. Nice job. Okay. So here we go. We got this covered a little. And you take, and if you don't have a blower and you don't want to do this, just leave it like that. Go to bed, get up in the next morning and start out painting it all over again. Everything can be done at different times. Nice. I like this photograph so much, I might make a bigger canvas at the studio and do the orange, and then bring in this when it's all done, because I'll be able to get a lot of this done tonight. Probably paint the whole thing. Just go along with this nice people working with me here. So I put in a whole bunch of different grays. And so next step is to do the trees in the background and then bring the gray trees up and then put the black trees on at the last. And then put the leaves on. So step one, step two kind of thing. You don't want to get too dark because you want to be in. Or don't want to be too light either. I don't know. I think they want me to sit down a little, so I might sit down and make it easier for you people. Don't want to make it difficult. So, I'm not doing any detail. I'm just dabbing this stuff around because that's the way these trees are. That's what I love about this particular painting, photograph. I mean, just so gorgeous. Has its own personality, which is great when you're an artist and you see something like that and you become part of that whole situation. So my studio is at 1000 Main Street in Hanson, and it's right down from the train station. And I'm there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because I have a job and I'm working part-time to pay off the move from Rockland to Hanson. Okay, so we got this tree-like stuff going on now in the fog. And it's going to be really neat. This is going to be a better painting than the photograph. It's a little bit different. It has a little better personality. And you don't have to follow the picture. You can do your own thing, put your own feeling into it. Never think that because you have a photograph it has to copy it. Get beyond that. Put your own personality into it. All right, so let's put some of these trees in. Let me get a thinner brush. Oh, let's dry this a little. What I love about this photograph is it's got a quality of intriguing feeling. It pulls you right into the picture and it pulls you further into the fog. And the fog is a cloud that comes down from heaven and it comes to earth. And when you're walking around, you feel like you're walking in a cloud. That's the spirituality. That's what I like about the nature pictures and the one with the beach. It's very spiritual to me. It's like God's presence is in the painting, and it makes me feel like that this is an achievement, and it gives you that quality of I'm doing something that really speaks to me like a prayer. And by me painting these pictures in black and white to show you how to start painting, it's a little difficult for most people. They think it's too hard to paint black and white because they say it's so much of a struggle because they don't see how it works. But that's the foundation of real art, black and white. The old masters back in the Renaissance and the Impressionist, well, not the Impressionist, maybe the Renaissance. They did all of this stuff that they painted was all underpainted with black and white. When I was a student at the museum school, I'm putting the trees in, by the way, the ones that are in the background. And sometimes I'll go over them a couple of times because I don't want them to be too dark and I don't want them to be too light. So I find if I just go over them 3 or 4 times with different whites and different colors, it pushes the trees back a little. And if I make it look easy, it's because I've done 1,000,000 paintings in my life. You came to my studio, there's 350 paintings on the walls, but I have 14 flat files filled with art. I probably have way too much art. I've never been one to promote it or try to go out and get the money. People come into the studio and they'll say to me, how come you don't sell this stuff? I said, it's all for sale. You just have to pay for it. You know, everybody wants something for nothing in life. When you get something for nothing, you wind up with nothing. If you go out and you pay something, like I gave my brother these gorgeous paintings, and you've come to my studio, you'll see them, because my niece returned them. And they had no idea what these paintings are worth. They just brought them back because he passed, and my sister-in-law went into a nursing home. And I'm like a little kid. I feel like they've had these paintings in their house for 50 years, and I got them back. And I said, "What? God, there's a treasure. What's wrong with them? I don't know. They don't value what I do, or they're not into art, or whatever the thing is. But what I found out, I got these paintings back, and I'm thrilled. Good. That's the way you feel. That's okay. I don't know if I'll ever sell them. Not while I'm alive. Maybe my kids and my grandkids, they'll sell them, but who cares? But when you're dead, you don't mind what they do. You have no control over it, which is a good thing. One of the saddest things about the Impressionists during the Second World War, they hid a whole bunch of their paintings in the country, in this real old farm. And the Germans came and found this farm, and they used it for their sleeping facilities. And what they did is they took the paintings and put them on the floor and used them for like mats or carpets or whatever the heck they did. And at the end of the war, they went back to see how the paintings were, and they were all destroyed. Can you imagine the Renoirs and Monets and all of the great artists, Pissarro? The only one that didn't do that with them was Picasso. They left Picasso alone. Something about Picasso that they just left him alone. Maybe Hitler liked him, I don't know. Those poor people lived through so much bad stuff. It's amazing that they did such wonderful stuff. But that was the blessing. All right, so that's the middle ground. We got the middle ground. I'm going to dry this with the blower, then I'm going to come back and stand up and go back there and look at it. I paid $17 for this blower at Walmart. God. And I had one that I used for 35 years, and I paid $350. There's one that I used for the hairdressing. I love this little blower. Every time I drop it, I'm afraid it's not going to work, and it still works. That's what happened to the old one. I dropped it about 1,000,000 times. So I'm sitting in this chair, and by sitting in this chair, if I was in my studio, I'd be where Carol is in my rocking chair. I don't have my rocking chair in my studio because I have no room. I have this magnificent Mission Oak rocking chair, antique. It's worth a fortune. I'm going to get up and come over here for a second and take a look. And when you're this close, sometimes you can't see it. Oh yeah, this is going to be really nice. Trouble with me is that I can paint this painting and it'll be done in a half an hour, and everybody say, how could you do that in a half an hour? Well, I've painted it paintings like this quite a few times. So I have that feeling. So I'm going to slow down a little so that we get this painting in the hour and nobody will fall asleep or leave the room. I know that if you stop talking, people leave the room, because I used to leave the room when Bob Ross stopped talking. But when I watch Bob Ross, I always said to my wife, I'm going to get up and watch Bob Ross, and she'll say, why? It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, I just can't sleep. I mean, I'll go out there and I'll put on Bob Ross, and within 10 minutes I'm sound asleep on the couch. You know, my wife would leave me there. Oh, God. Let me see. Yeah. So here we go. We do the black trees now. That's simple. You just put a big black tree right here. So I'm putting them in and very slowly so that they show up and they have different personalities. I'll put the dark ones in first, and then I'll go over and I'll put some in between the real grayish to a darker grayish, build them out, and all of a sudden you'll see them. This one's got a little bend to it, so we'll put that in there like that. See how simple it is? It's not difficult at all. It's in your head that's difficult. My friend says my enemy is my brain. I understand what he's saying. Sometimes you hear this voice in your back of your head and it's saying, it's a piece of junk. What do you think you're doing? You don't know what you're doing, and that kind of stuff. Don't listen to it. You're in charge of the painting. Let's see what this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, that's good for me. I like that. All right, so I got 4, 3 more. Two more. One more. There you go. All right. So we have the foreground trees and we have the background trees. So we got to put some middle ground trees in there next. So it's between this length, this tone, and this tone. That's what's going to give us the middle ground. And something you have to think, looking at it, playing with it, putting it up, all of a sudden you'll see it. Nice. See if I can get a smaller brush now. I want to put the in-between trees. Good. All right. Go out to the dollar store and buy these trays, and then buy a plastic container that you buy at one of the stores. Put the tray inside of it, close it. You can keep the paint for months. I have 3 or 4 of those plastic containers. I use them constantly. Now you're starting to see this take shape because I've been putting these different trees on in a different color, and it goes further and further back, which is gorgeous. I'm starting to like this painting already. So you keep changing the colors. God, that goes by fast, doesn't it? When you're having so much fun, you don't realize how much time disappears. Time is our best friend. You can't get it back, and if you don't celebrate it when you're here, you're going to miss out on your life. The greatest gift we have is time. People don't realize it until you start running out of it. Get into your middle 70s, late 70s, and you start to realize, all right, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to dry this. You know what this is going to look like somewhat when I'm done? It's going to look like a winter scene. I might make it in. I have a photograph of a winter scene with trees like this with snow on one side. I should have brought that one, but I didn't bring the leaves. I'm going to see how it looks with the black. If I don't like what it looks like with the black leaves, I might make it white like snow. Might change it from this particular painting photograph to a winter scene with the snow all over it, which would be great too, because that wouldn't bother me one bit. And you as the audience, you have no say. And Carol, she never says anything negative. She's the best. She likes everything I do. That's why I like her. She's easy to get along with. Not as critical as my wife. Let's do something with the foreground now, see what happens. So I'm just putting a little darkness. This would be the orange, but I didn't bring the orange, so I'm going to make it look like leaves by simply rubbing the canvas with the color and keep going on it back and forth, and we'll see it turn into something, I hope. Just keep working at it. Don't even think about it. Just keep painting. So you want to put the leaves on, so you just dab it. Spend your whole life dabbing stuff. It's crazy. Love it. Let me see what this looks like. I don't know how it looks. I'm too close. Step back a little. Oh yeah, this is going to work. Besides, I got a half an hour to make it work. See how it works? And so you start with these big brushes and you go to the smaller brushes and you keep dabbing it and you dry it and you dab it and you dry it, and all of a sudden it won't look like. Be patient, be kind, and just keep doing it. So my doctor today at the VA wants me to take up yoga, build up some muscles in my back. And I used to do the chi too. He wants me to do that too. They have it over at the VA in Brockton every day, a couple of days a week, I guess. I don't know. I did it at the Cancer Society over in Norwell for a couple of years. I liked the Chinese feng shui, whatever they call it. You know, I mean, God, I'm terrible on names. All that moving your body and stuff that all those old people do, it's neat. They're really good at it too. Oh my God, the girl that gave the class was great. Woman, not a girl. All right. I guarantee you the orange would have made it more dynamic, but I forgot to bring it. What happens when you get to be 76? I'm sitting in my studio doing an etching painting on a print, and I'm so intrigued and involved in what I'm doing. I look up and Kevin's sitting right in there across from me, taking pictures. Jumped out of my seat. Never saw him come in, never heard him. And you know something? Buy a ton of brushes. When you see them on sale at Michael's or something, keep buying them. Stack them up. You can't have enough brushes, enough of what they work and how they work and the way they work. I mean, different brushes have a different way of making things work different. Nice. So you just keep dabbing it, and all of a sudden, you know, you say, oh man, that doesn't look like it's going to look like leaves, but you know something? It will. I'm willing it to do it, making it do it. And I'm getting it lighter and lighter as I go further back, away from the front of the canvas. Make it look like it has more depth. See, all of this stuff that I'm showing you and doing, you know, it sounds like it's very difficult. It's not difficult. It's you. You're the difficult. The minute you say, oh, I don't know if I can do that, it's gone. Never say that, never think that, never feel that. Just do it. Like they say in sports, just do it. Well, I believe that. I believe that can be applied to everything we do in our lives. Just do it. Cooking, sewing, riding a horse, riding a bike, playing tennis. Just do it. Eventually it'll come around. Just keep touching the canvas. Don't be banging it or pushing it. Just touch it a little bit. Let me see. Let me step back a little after I dry it. All right, I'm going to come back a little here, and I'm going to show you. Step back, I want to take a look. All right, see the center of this right through here? I'm going to take white paint, and I'm going to go down this way. And it's going to make the fog in this level jump out, and the fog at that level stay perfect. And it's going to have a whole nother effect on this whole entire painting. All of those thoughts, everything that I've said right today, it happens in the photograph. When you take this photograph, you see all of that stuff and you say to yourself, wow. And the camera does it. And then you say, well, how am I going to do it? And you just figure it out. So I'm taking the pure white and I'm putting the pure white. People say, how do you paint fog? It's so difficult. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Nothing's difficult. You're difficult. You start talking like that. It says in the Bible, what you say is what you are. You know, and I know what he's saying in the Bible. I said, you always say positive things about yourself and about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. And positive stuff happens. I'm going to learn how to paint. I'm going to learn how to drive. I'm going to learn how to ride a bike. I'm going to learn how to get through the Marine Corps. My grandson's Paris Island. I tried in my whole heart to talk him out of it, but he's so brilliant and so smart. And they want him for intelligence. He's a great kid. Went to Severian Catholic school for 4 years. Computer genius. He took a test for the Marines and he got the highest mark in the country. They're treating him like he's God. Oh my God. They love people like that. All right, let's see if I made a difference here. I'm going to dry it again. Sometimes you have to put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers. And sometimes you have to use your finger. Oh, I'm telling you, Carol, you are something else. When you're this close to the painting, you really can't get into it. But you know something? This is starting to look like a painting. It's starting to feel like the woods. It's starting to feel like the fog. It's a shame I didn't bring the orange, but I love this way this is. I might keep it this way, and I might do another one at the studio because I love the way this is starting to feel. So I'm going to put some more white in here. Put some old grass in. Let's throw some old grass in here too. You know. Some scrub. See, a thought comes into your head when you're painting and you just take advantage of it, you go with it, you just do it, and it makes the painting jump to life, makes it real, it makes it so. Everything that you do when you paint is a blessing and it's a curse. The people who say, oh my God, I don't know how you got this or what you did and all that, I says, well, go watch the show. It's simple. Everything we do is just for a reason, and it happens, and it shows up, and it's so good. I believe that if you keep touching the canvas with like I'm doing right now, it just gives the painting so much depth and life and realness. Of course, I'm an impressionist, so that I don't go by copying everything that happens in the photograph. I go by what happens inside of me or inside of my mind, whatever that attitude of doing is all about. That's what makes the work more personable, more in tune to who you are, what you're doing, how you're doing it. So just like I said, don't think about how it looks when you're sitting here so close to it, that it looks like, oh my God, what a waste of time, what a mess you made. Oh, how could you? Just keep doing it. I'm telling you, the more you put on this, the stronger it gets, the better it is. The more effective it's going to be, the more people are going to say, wow, how did you get that? How did you? I do this with the rocks sometimes, and I keep going over them and over them. And they say to me, how did you get the rocks so beautiful? And I says, because I don't give up on anything. I just keep going after it until it does what I want it to do. I watched a show with Johnny Carson one time, and they had this guy on, and he did these balloons. And I talk about this in all my shows sometimes, and Johnny Carson says, well, how do you make the balloons yours? He says, I'm the man. They're my balloons because I'm the one doing it. And that's the thing. I've taken charge of what I do. I'm in charge. I'm the person. So like, that's the way I want you to feel when you're the painter. Somebody says to me, well, how do you get this or how do you get that? He says, I'm the artist. I'm the person that did this. I knew that it was going to come out like this. I could feel it. Putting more leaves up here so that it has a more in-depth feeling, so that the eye is pulled forward. Really, really nice. You're good. You are really good. I have a brother who used to say to me, I'm going to hit the lottery. I'm going to hit the lottery. I'm going to hit the lottery. Never stop saying it. Oh, my God. Hit the lottery 3 times. There's something about the quality of saying things and having them happen. My brother Vinny, he was like that. Oh, I used to say, you're the luckiest person I met in my whole life. He says, because you got to call it into existence. Like the painting. This painting's going to be magnificent. Everybody's going to love it. I love it. It's got a nice feeling. I didn't give up on it. I didn't get uptight about the idea. I didn't bring the orange. Hey, I didn't bring it. So what? I might bring another canvas and bring the photograph back and do it again and use orange next time I do it. I don't know. But I'm not going to destroy this by changing it. I'm going to leave it the way it is because I love it. And I could care less if nobody else loves it. That doesn't enter into my mind. I'm the artist. I'm in that mindset of God gave me this talent. That I take advantage of it, and I say thank you to God every night and every morning. Go to Mass. Going to Mass every morning for the last 44 years. I tell people I have breakfast with the King. All right, let's take a look at this. I don't know what we got left, maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 5 minutes. Oh, great, I can talk about this. Now, I think that you see what I'm talking about. So if I take and I do some of this stuff, I can make it look like a winter scene or a fall scene. If I had the orange, it would be fall. But if I went and just for the heck of it and said, well, I could do this. I only got 5 minutes left, so I'm not going to try doing them all. But I can always go back over this. And take the white and throw it on one side. And dab it all down in here. And then we went from a fall scene to a snow scene. I happen to like winter. I'm a winter person. My birthday's December 22nd. Happy Christmas presents. But I found out early in life, winter babies live longer than summer babies. Both my summer baby brothers are gone. It scared the heck out of me when I found that out. I said, oh my God, what a shame. What you can do in 5 minutes to change everything is amazing. Simply by not letting something take away what you were going to do and do something that you've done and celebrate it. Painting has been a thing where as you're doing something, as you're going along, and it just goes into another place. That's what's great about painting. Oh, it takes you into a place. You know, I mean, good night. I mean, like I said, Kevin came in and he was sitting across from me. I didn't even know he was in the room. 3 minutes. See, let me step back again. Oh, now it's starting to really look like a winter scene. I like it as a winter scene. Really. Put some more snow on this side. So, you saw me do this painting, and it started with the light gray, and I love it. It's got such a personality already. I think When I get back to the studio and wake up in the morning and I go back here, I'm going to do some more snow in the bottom, make it into a winter scene, and I'll bring it back and show you next time I do the show and say, look, you don't give up, you don't get uptight, and you don't listen to anybody. You just do what you do and have a good time and enjoy it. I'm going to dry this so I can take it home. So we started with a fall scene, we wound up with a little bit of a winter scene, or maybe end of the fall, beginning of winter. I have no idea where this is, but it's something I really like. I love the feeling of it. It's very powerful. And if you want to do something that gets people's attention, do something that's powerful. They can't walk by it without looking at it and saying, oh my God, where did you do this and how did you get that and where did that come from? Welcome to World of Art with Paul Crimi. This whole adventure tonight, beautiful. I love the effect. And I think that if you take a good look at it, watch the show, you'll see how it was developed. God bless and good night.